Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub. It is Sunday, June the 6th. Ian Cameron, Conor Mac, Skee Prophet, Dutch Boy Fresh. We're back and ready to talk Sunday NBA playoff basketball. Now, as you know, we usually start the show with a recap of last night. We'll get to that. Don't you worry. We'll get there, and we'll talk Milwaukee, Brooklyn. I definitely have a few things to say about that game. But we'll first start with this game that's about to tip off in just a few minutes from now. Atlanta, Philadelphia. The big news being Joel Embiid. I didn't think he was playing today, but he is. Go for game one today. And as a result, you're seeing the line move accordingly. Lots of Philly money. It was 2.5 and 3. It's now 4.5 and even 5 starting to show up. The total up slightly as well, 220.5 to 221. You know, who knows how long he's going to play? Who knows if he's even going to get through the full game? We saw Anthony Davis the other night with a pretty significant, concerning injury with his groin, different area of the body, but still very, very dangerous injury. And he couldn't get through that game. This is a meniscus tear we're talking about, you know, and I applaud him for trying to play here in game one, but how effective is he going to be? How's his mobility going to be? And is he going to be able to get through the game? It's a big question mark here. I did lean Atlanta before. I'm stuck with a bad number because I took Atlanta +3. It's now 4.5, 5. I'm stuck with it right now. I don't know if I'd bet Atlanta now. I still might, because sometimes you see this. They get the big cog back, and sometimes everybody relaxes a little bit, think, hey, everything's going to be fine, and you get Atlanta firing a big or early punch here in this game one today. So you're definitely getting better value now with Atlanta. I will put it that way. And I'll still lean to the Hawks here a little bit plus the points. Other than that, I didn't bet the total. I have no opinion on it. Props, don't have much on it. So let's go to Dutch first with this one. He's the prop guy more than any of us here for sure. Hawks and Sixers, what do you like?
Yeah, real quick, shout out to my guy, The Hook, Los Cosmos, Wyatt Chapman. You know, I see y'all. Salute to the chat. Yeah, when it comes to this game, I tweeted it out very early. I do like Ben Simmons over points. I did get it actually by a number at 15.5 with Joel Embiid getting the okay to go. It's now 14.5, but I still, jump on that. I still believe this is a great matchup for Ben. I touched on that a little bit yesterday, but I love the Sixers here, -4.5. I mean, I guess if you have it at I should have acted at 3.5. I honestly didn't believe Embiid was going to play today. But now that he is, I think he'll be a go. I don't think they're going to risk him in game one unless he's ready to rock and roll. They're not in a do or die situation like they were with AD. I love this -4 in here. DeAndre Hunter is a scratch from Atlanta's side. You have Solomon Hill in the starting lineup, the guy who had 4 fucking points the whole series against the Knicks. I just don't see that's who you're putting in the starting lineup. I look for the Sixers to run away with this game early and often.
All right, like in Philly here, Skee, did you have a strong opinion here? Atlanta, Philly, just tipping off.
Yeah, I've been back and forth on this game just because of the injury status, but I wanted to back an under without Embiid. I'm one to believe that he's not 100% healthy or close to it. I don't even know why he's playing, but I guess we'll see. I still think that we'll see less points in this game. I know even if he has like limited minutes or something, without Embiid, they went under 10 of the last 13. So that's what I was going to play on this game, if anything. If I'm looking for any kind of overs, it might be Trae Young on the 3-pointers or maybe Bogdanovich points, something like that.
Yeah, keep in mind, this game's just tipped off, but a lot of these games you can bet in-game props, in-game player props. So you should be able to jump on some of these at most books. Conor Mac, what do you think here? Hawks, Sixers?
Yeah, I really wanted to watch game one. I didn't think Embiid was going to be in either until just, a few minutes ago. I like that prop with Simmons. I still think it's good. I still think he gets, over 15 here today. I like Harris over 1.5 threes. And yeah, Skee, I like the under here. That's what I'd play, especially in game one. I think a little tight, feel it out. Sixers bring that defense at home. Hawks a little bit slower team, like we talked about all year. Slower pace, I mean, just the coaching change. They've been right around that 100 mark or so. So I'd be under here in game one. I did bet that. And Simmons over his points. I got Harris over 1.5 threes. And that was about it. I didn't love anything else. There's a bunch of other Seth Curry. They were all over 2.5 threes and only plus 105, stuff like that. Didn't love it. So that was it here.
All right, Dallas and LA Clippers. Doesn't get better than this. It's game 7. Winner moves on to face Utah in the second round of the Western Conference playoffs. We've got the Clippers 6.5-point home favorites here. And how about this total? It opened as high as 214.5 or so. It's down to 210, 211 range. And look, game 7 under. That's why the under's getting so much money here. And it's hard to argue with that. If you look back at long-term numbers with game sevens, the under has been the play for the most part in these games. I get it why everybody loves the under. Things get tight. Defenses really ratchet up in a game of this magnitude where it's win or go home for both teams. So I totally understand why the under's taking money here in this game. I'm riding or dying with Big D in this game. Dallas plus 6.5. I'm going to dare a home team to cover a number in this series, which has not happened yet. 6-0 straight up, 6-0 against the spread for the road team in this series. I'm going to bank on that continuing. And do the Clippers ever do anything easily? You know, when you expect them to be in a good position, when they're off a win, they're feeling good. You know, it's a struggle for them. How many times we have to see this movie? It's very, very difficult to envision them winning this game easily or comfortably. And I'm getting 6.5 points here to back this Dallas team. And from a prop standpoint, I'm keeping it really simple. By the way, Porzingis, show the fuck up today, please. You know, you got to be a whole lot better than the last game. No question about that. Can't be all Luka. That being said, I'm not overthinking it or overcomplicating this from a player prop standpoint. Give me the guys that are going to have to carry the day in a game 7 for their teams to win. Kawhi and Luka. They're both 31.5 in terms of their point totals. They go over, I think, both of them. I think look, usually you want to make a case for the other guy when the Kawhi is a big game. You like to think the next game it's his right-hand man, Paul George, that steps up. But you think I'm betting a Paul George prop in a game 7? No way.
25.5? No.
Yeah.
Minus 113? No, no way.
He becomes Casper the Friendly Ghost, disappearing act in a lot of game 7s. I can't do it with Paul George. So Kawhi over points, 31.5. Luka over 31.5 points as well as Dallas as well, plus 6.5 for me. Those are the 3 bets I like in game 7. Skee, we'll start with you here with this one. Dallas Mavericks, LA Clippers, game 7.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree. I like both of the guys who've been carrying their teams, especially like if you like the Dallas side, you have to roll with Luka for sure. I think there's a couple guys that can contribute on the Clipper side. Like you said, it could be Paul George. You know, they kind of figured out that you can't play Beverly, you can't really play Zubac when Luka's on the floor. So maybe, I mean, I'm looking towards Reggie Jackson a little bit. Have him in the starting lineup. I'm looking at you can play his points, or you could play points, rebounds, assists. If you're looking at the points, rebounds, assists, he's been going over the last 3 or 4 games. I think it was 20.5, 21.5. So that's probably my favorite one from the Clipper side. If I'm going to play the spread, I don't know why it would be expected. Pretty much, I mean, for Clippers to win by a few possessions, maybe even double digits. Like, it's been close games, and the road team has been successful in all of them. Mavericks coming off of a loss, I just think that they play well. Like, they're scoring easier to me than the Clippers are scoring. So I lean towards grabbing the points with Dallas. And as far as the total, you know, it's low, but like you said, game 7 is just, if you're thinking about an over, game 7 is kind of scaring me off. So I guess lean under.
Yeah, exactly. And you've seen this series start to trend a little bit under as well. The last few games, including Friday night, that game stayed way under, game 6 in Dallas. Dutch, what do you like here? Game 7, all the marbles.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Eric Chain. Appreciate you, bro. Vincent. Yeah, when it comes to this game, like you guys mentioned about a lot about it, it's you know, the road. So I mean, I guess you can't really. I don't really want to buck the trend. I think you do have to kind of, from a side perspective, you have to look Dallas. You said it, Ian, with the props. But I really, with Luka and Kawhi, of course, I really like the over 3.5, the 3.5 threes with Luka. I bricked on that last game. I gave you tons of numbers, but in LA, he's got 16 threes in 3 games. So, and for him to get over that 30, 31, 32, he's going to have to hit 3 or 4 threes. That's just his game. So I definitely expect to him to hit 4 threes at plus 140. I really do like that value there. But I agree with Skee a lot. I like Reggie Jackson. I believe Wham Bam pointed him out last game, how much he was getting run. And I like what I see out of him. He's got a lot of confidence, and at over 14.5, I believe there's a lot of value there. It is juice, I believe, minus 115, minus 120. But he's averaging over 22.5 his last 2 games, and he's went over this number. He's got 15 or better in this game, every game but game one. Game one, he didn't really show up. Every game since then, he's went over this number. So I believe there's extreme value there with Reggie Jackson. But yeah, the Mavericks just play. Even Luka himself, they play better in LA. They average 20 points more a game in LA. They shoot 10 to 11% better from the three and from the field in LA. And Luka's averaging 7 more points in LA. So why can't, I mean, if we think Luka's going to get his, then most likely they'll probably cover the 6.5. I really do think that the Clippers will move on here, though. But I believe there is value 6.5. I'll probably wait, see if we can get a 7.5 like we did in game 5. I really like that number, and I'll be rolling. But yeah, I definitely like Reggie Jackson and Luka the motherfucking Don to get some trades from deep for sure.
All right, look at them.
Can I just say real quick?
Yeah.
I don't know who it was who said it, but somebody said something about my boy Solomon Hill. I just seen him knocking the 3-pointer. That's my boy from LA, same high school.
Nice.
I said it. I was like, what the fuck's he doing in the starting lineup? Shit.
Hitting threes apparently is what he's doing. Yeah. So far,
I didn't know he was your boy, but homeboy didn't get no run in the whole series against New York. Now he's in the fucking starting lineup. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. By the way, you got to hope this thing slows the fuck down if you're on the under in this Sixers game. It's just bombs away early on. I think 38 points already halfway through the first quarter. I mean, it's been a barrage of long-range shooting early in this game so far. Good start, good pace with that Hawks Sixers beginning. But Dutch liking Reggie Jackson as well as Luka over made threes as well. Over 3-pointers is a good player props to look at in this game. I'm looking forward to this. This is big time especially for the Clippers because if they lose this series again, it's another disaster. Dallas, I think Luka Doncic is going to play ridiculous today because this team knocked him out last year. He was very upset about that. This is a chance for redemption. He, I think, goes nuts today. I really believe that. Heart of hearts, Luka Doncic is showing up today. The chat agrees. He's a heart of a champion. He's a warrior. He will show up today. Win or lose, he's showing up big today for the Dallas Mavericks. Connor, what do you think here? Game 7.
Yeah, Luka doesn't get there with his threes the other day, so now you could get him over 3.5 plus 140. That's what I'm on. He'll get it. Total value spot there. Kawhi, I think he gets over 2.5 as well. It's still plus 110. I like Reggie Jackson. A little bit of the value's gone over 2.5 threes, now minus 118. But I still think he gets over 14.5. It's minus 135. He definitely came up big the last few games I had him. I'm probably not going to be on those props today. But yeah, Luka and Kawhi points. And I got to take the Mavs. Too many points. He's going to be in it down the stretch. I want him with the ball. They're not going to lose. I don't think they get blown out here in game 7. So, yeah, no, the total, I'm going to stay away. It could be tight. They could get hot. It could go over. I'm just going to stay off the total. Like you said, Dutch, I might wait. I think this could hit 7. I'm going to wait till the last minute. I think it's good at 6.5, but I like 7 for sure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So this should be a good one. Absolutely. Mavericks and the Clippers. Yet Dallas has won every game in LA. LA's won every game in Dallas. Will that continue today? The road team, road court advantage, so to speak, in this series. That's the way it's been. All right. Before we get to best bets and wrap it up briefly, we'll look back at game 1 last night, Nets versus Bucks. Look, they got outplayed flat out, the Milwaukee Bucks. There's nothing else to say but that. If that's the kind of work ethic and scrappiness and, dig in and battle level that you're going to bring in a game 1 against a team like that, you're going to get beaten soundly. And that's exactly what happened. Not enough battle level from the Bucks. They mentioned it on the broadcast that they're winning those battles for loose balls on the floor. Blake Griffin is just, unbelievable job in the paint area. Let's give him credit. We were concerned about the paint area for Brooklyn against Milwaukee and Giannis and the size they've got down there. And he showed up big time, double, incredible points, rebounds. He was terrific for the Nets and all with James Harden, of course, going out of the game in the first couple minutes. Isn't that just awful for all of us? Because a lot of us had Harden props in some fashion, and to see it basically his night over in the first minute of the game. What can you do? There's nothing you can do. You just got to go like this. What can you do when you see that? Nevertheless, disappointed. We'll have to see his status moving forward. But look, there was an opening there with James Harden injured early in that game for Milwaukee to assert themselves. They didn't do that. That's a bad first mental image to see Milwaukee play like that in game one. So we'll see if they bounce back. The game stayed well under the total, and I kind of thought it could stay under, and it did. But it sets up, I think, Monday for a couple of spots that I'm intrigued by in terms of betting this series. I didn't love the game either way from a betting standpoint much last night, but I think game 2 Monday night, there's going to be some opportunities here to look at in terms of side total and props. But simple, Milwaukee got outplayed. There's nothing more you can say than that. Both ends of the floor. They need better. You got to shoot the ball better too. And too much, they were settling. You guys, if you've got guys that can go to the hole, go to the rim, go to the tin, they didn't do that enough. Settling for mid-range shots, settling for 3 balls when they clearly were not going in last night. You got to make that adjustment if you're Milwaukee, and not good enough from them. They better step it up big time, because if it's like this for Milwaukee from a effort level, they're that lethargic again the rest of the series. They're not going to win many games in this series. So they've got to step it up and amp it up 10 times game 2 and moving forward for sure. Skee, what were your thoughts, observations last night with game 1?
Blake Griffin looking pretty good, playing some defense too. So, I was surprised to see that from Blake Griffin, honestly. I expected the Nets to win. I didn't expect Harden to be out, so we'll see if that's a lingering injury. But the Bucks, they got to do something different. I don't know. I do think that they'll shoot better. They're a better 3-point shooting team, as we saw like the last series, game 1.
Yeah,
they shot terrible, and they came back the next couple games and were shooting lights out. So they shot 20% in this game. I do think that they'll do a lot better in the next. And I'm still thinking that we're going to get some points in this matchup. I mean, the first half, there's like 124 points scored, and just didn't really get buckets in the second half. So I'm thinking that'll be a high-scoring series. I just have to find out which half the points are coming in.
Yeah, conceptually and in theory, Dennis Garcia, I agree with that. Blake Griffin, we'll get into more of that tomorrow on Monday's show. But yeah, Blake Griffin under points in game 2 makes sense. What goes up must come back down. That's the way I kind of feel about that when it comes to Blake Griffin. Dutch, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, good start for the Nets.
Yeah, man. Shout out to North Ender. He said Embiid's looking good, so hey, that's a good sign right there.
He's moving around good.
Yeah, Big Zo in the chat. Everything. What's up, my guy? But yeah, when it comes to this game, honestly, obviously, you guys both touched on Blake Griffin. I mean, he played out of his fucking mind. I haven't seen him like that in a long time. So props to him. You got props where props given, or is due. But I would have to say from Milwaukee, it's based on the coaching, man. Like, why are the players not on the court? I mean, Giannis didn't even play 40 fucking minutes. I don't get it. Middleton had a fucking horrible game.
Horrible.
I mean, if you want to put it on someone who lost the game, to me it was Middleton. He had 13 boards. We had 13. He had 13 points. Well under his average, and just shot horrible. And like, talk about can't fucking stop nobody on defense. I mean, don't even try to guard Kyrie, bro. Just get the fuck out of the way. This shit is ridiculous. But I have to think. I thought that honestly, Budenholzer Booty would be better than fucking Steve Nash. That did not show in game 1. I don't know if the Bucks had the coaching edge. He definitely got out coached. I don't know what he's doing matchup wise. But hey, Harden goes out and you can't take advantage of that. I could be completely wrong about this series, and I might have to take it on the chin right here, right now already. It could be Brooklyn.
Nah, Dutch. It's early, Dutch.
I mean,
you're picking that too early.
You lose James Harden. James Harden in that type of game, and then he doesn't even go out playing his stars. Like I mentioned, like 34, 35 minutes from Holiday, all these guys. Kyrie and fucking KD played 40-plus minutes. I'm like, what's going on here? I don't like it. That obviously they shot 20% from the 3-point line. I don't expect that to happen. I mean, the series isn't like, it's not going to be a sweep or anything like that. I'm just saying, if this was a game that was pretty much, I think, in Milwaukee's hands, and they didn't show up, they didn't fucking take it like I expect them to do. And it's not looking good that I picked Milwaukee in this series.
Yeah, the game 2 is definitely, and it doesn't bode well either. That I think Charles Barkley made Milwaukee his guarantee, and as soon as I heard that, I'm like, very, very. I'm not liking it with the Bucks now. All of a sudden,
it's so serious with that shit. I don't even watch the pregame. I won't turn it on until after that shit's over. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see that shit because every time I see it, I swear to God, it's like, my shit's out the window.
It's a curse. Yeah, it's a curse. Yeah,
so I don't watch the pregame with fucking Chuckster no more, man. Fuck
no,
him.
Exactly. No. Kenny, by the way, we have no issues here at the Pub Hub on Pub Sports Radio with attendance and punctuality, something Kenny Smith clearly does. Because he didn't even show up for the show on time, apparently, last night. And showed up like 15 minutes into the pregame, just waltzes onto the set. Hey, I'm here, 15 minutes late. It was pretty funny to see that. But yeah, we have no attendance issues here. I've missed one show, and it was because I took a vaccine that day. That's about it. Our attendance is perfect here. Yeah.
Hey, yo, shout out to my guy, Gas Station Sushi, in the chat. My guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Gas Station Sushi, yes. Horse
and them ponies over the head.
He knows his horses, 100% right. Yeah, very disappointed. And look, if you're Budenholzer, this is where my rant's coming in, because I said I had a few things to say about this series. This is where I'm going to say it. It's time for this man to step up, make some adjustments, make some quality adjustments that work, that lead to good results, that lead to wins in the next game.
I don't know if he can do it, though.
You know what his exactly, Connor. You know what his track record is in the postseason in terms of coaching matchups? Getting his ass handed to him by Eric Spoelstra last year in that first round. Getting, tricky Nicky Nurse in Toronto just took his lunch money from him 2 years ago in that Eastern Conference final. I mean, okay, he got the better of it in the first round against Miami, but Miami wasn't right. Now you're playing a team that is right, that is good. And you are, in a situation where they expect better from you. Let's see what you can do. And look, that's a rookie coach. I mean, Steve Nash is a good basketball mind, but he's still doing this for the first time as a head coach. You got to show that you can step up in this kind of coaching matchup and get it done. By the way, we'll get to Connor here with his thoughts on last night too. But I will say, speaking of getting it done, Atlanta is just shooting the freaking lights out. Yeah, unbelievable shooting start for the Hawks. We'll see if they can keep it up, though. Long way to go. You're like a horse. You're like, speaking of horse racing, you're like the horse that peaks too early in the race. Maybe that's the case here for Atlanta. Maybe they're peaking too early with this hot shooting start. Connor, what did you think of last night?
Yeah, with Harden going down, it was just a great opportunity for the Bucks, and they couldn't get it done. Nets looked pretty good. You touched on it, Dutch. That's what I wanted to get to, is Chris Middleton. I mean, if you don't play, he already doesn't play defense. He's got to score. 0 for 5 from 3. This looks like him from the past playoffs the last few years when he was a no-show. Yep. He would have nights like this. That's why they lost. He's got to score a bunch. I mean, he went 6 from 23 from the field. Everyone else had an all right game. The defense needs to be better for the Bucks. Giannis can't shoot. He can't be shooting threes. We'll see. I think adjustments need to be made. I don't know if the Bucks can do it. I think we'll see in game 2, and we'll see what's up with Harden, if he'll be back for game 2. But that's all with that. Next, Nets close it out pretty easily.
It was an impressive game 1, especially considering that James Harden goes out in the very first minute of that game. All right, great stuff with Skee, with Connor, with Dutch. We will get to best bets, Dutch's freshest look, in just a second. But before we do that, we'll pause for Manscaped and for messages from Manscaped and Southtown 101 as well. A little bit of a message in terms of you can buy some Pub Sports Radio merch now. Support the channel.
Get it.
Radio merch. Check this out.
That's dope.
Southtown 101. Check them out. San Antonio, Texas food. I saw someone in the chat saying they're going down there to watch all the sports today. Good stuff. Check them out. San Antonio, Southtown 101. Food, drinks, live music, karaoke, and more. We've got obviously the Pub Sports Radio merch that we showed at the very beginning of that little commercial break, if you will. Pubsportsradio.com, the merch. Check them out. Get some gear. T-shirts, get, the flip-flops, sandals for summertime. Perfect time to, beach wear, if you will. More, all kinds of great stuff you can purchase. The Pub Sports Radio merch. Manscaped, promo code PubSports, 20% off your purchase using that promo code. Take care of yourself, all you guys out there with the Manscaped grooming products. And mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. NHL, NBA playoffs, MLB daily, U.S. Open golf coming up soon. NFL preseason in a couple of months' time. Mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. All right, let's get after it. Best bets. We pretty much have the one game to choose from today now. Mavericks and Clippers, game 7. Skee Profit, we'll start with you. Best bet for Sunday.
I think best bet for me will probably be take Reggie Jackson, points, rebounds, assists over 21.5. That seems like the best one to me.
Right, liking Reggie Jackson over 26.5 points, rebounds, assists.
21.5.
21.5. All right, best bet for Skee Profit there. Reggie Jackson for the Clippers over points, rebounds, and assists. All right, Dutch, freshest look. What do you got?
Yeah, man. Real quick, to my guy, Marlon Z, Mr. Easy Action. He's going through it right now, so shout out to him. He's in the hospital, you know what I'm saying? Just give him a shout out, prayers, whatever y'all got to do. I'll put one in the air for my guy. But, yeah, so we're going to La La Land in honor of my dude, and we're going to make the freshest look. Kawhi Leonard over 31.5 points. You know what I'm saying? Drop the juice because we pay the juice. They're going to pay us, and we're going to show out in L.A. Kawhi Leonard over 31.5 points. Let's eat, man.
All right, Kawhi Leonard over 31.5 points. Freshest look for Dutch Boy Fresh. Conor Mac, your turn. Best bet.
Yep. I'll just go with the Mavs. I like to wait to get a 7, but give me the plus 6.5. I just don't think the Clippers run away with it. And you got Luka. I think he keeps you in this ball game. Look out for his threes. Kawhi too. I think they get it. Big time players. They got a game 7. I think they get theirs.
All right, there you go. Dallas plus 6.5. Best bet for Connor. I'm going a dual best bet 2 on that game. Dallas, I'm with you, Connor. That's one of my 2 best bets, plus 6.5. I'm going Luka Doncic over 31.5 points as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's his game to just dominate.
Oh, yeah.
He wants it desperately. This guy wants to win. The Clippers knocked him out, ended his season a year ago. Win or lose, he is going to do everything he can to avoid that same fate today, this afternoon. Luka Doncic over 31.5 points, and Dallas plus 6.5 against the LA Clippers. 2 best bets from me here for today on the NBA Pub Hub show. That'll wrap up this edition of the NBA Pub Hub. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Yes, get well soon, Marlon. Really good kid. He's always been very nice and complimentary to our work, my work as well. I mean, he's a good kid. We wish him well, recovery, health, all that stuff. I mean, we've all been battling so much shit the last year from a health standpoint. And we certainly wish Marlon all the best. No question about that. Great turnout in the chat. Thanks to everyone for joining us. Again, we'll be back tomorrow on Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific with the NBA Pub Hub on Monday. Join us then for Conor Mac, Skee Profit, Dutch Boy Fresh. I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Sunday afternoon. Enjoy the games and good luck. We'll talk to you again tomorrow on Monday for another edition of the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us out of here.
Take us home.
Yeah, man. You know what it is. It's Pub Sports Radio. Salute to the chat. Be sure to like and subscribe. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest.
We be pubbing. Let's get it. Game 7.